morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It's me again, your virtual English teacher. I am Sir Stephen, but you can call me Sir Steve or Sir Steve. How are you? How was your first week of taking your modular class in English? Are you ready for our English class today? Well then, if that is the case, let us begin.
Let's get ready to rumble!
For our English topic this week, it will be Quarter 1, Week 2, Learning Activity Sheets. So starting this week, we will now have a shorter number of pages when it comes to your modules. So this time, all your activities will be learning activity sheets, meaning to say, your answers will be written on the sheets of modules that you will be receiving. Now, for this week, our learning competency is identify the genre, purpose, intended audience, and features of various viewed texts such as movie clips, trailers, news flash, internet-based program, documentary, and video. This is Quarter 1, Week 2, Module 1, Day 6. For this competency, the focus will be on viewed texts, meaning to say, we will be focusing on viewing. So, viewing what? So, we will be viewing movie clips, trailers, news flash, internet-based program, documentaries, videos, and a lot more video sources. What about viewed texts? We will talk about identifying genre, purpose, intended audience, and features. Okay, so let us continue. Talking about viewing, just like what I told you a while back, the center of our lesson for this week is viewing. Viewing is not new to all of us, especially during this time of pandemic. Isn't it? We had a very long vacation because of the ECQ or Enhanced Community Quarantine and its extensions. And during these long ECQ days, one of the things that made us all happy is viewing videos, viewing clips in the internet, in the television, Netflix, and more. So the term viewing is no longer new to us. We were able to do this using our cell phones, using our gadgets like tablets, and of course, laptops and televisions. Now it says here, you have seen a lot of shows and reports from your cell phones, laptops, or televisions, and these viewing materials have contents that you surely have imagined and understood through your initial skills in understanding, analyzing, and synthesizing materials that you watch. Of course, upon viewing these materials that I mentioned a while back, Netflix and so on, we were able to grasp or to comprehend and understand the content because of our literary knowledge. Okay, later on, we will encounter some of the things related to what we call literary knowledge. It says here, the essential question that you must ponder or you must think upon is, how can I understand the things that I watch using my literary knowledge in English? Of course, you've had lots of English subjects way back in elementary days, and when you entered high school, that was the time that literary knowledge was introduced or was even highlighted and was improved. You've had different genres of literature such as fiction, non-fiction. You've had the divisions of literature, poetry and prose, and a lot more about literature thanks to your English subject. And because of this, you have this what they call literary knowledge. Now, how can this literary knowledge help you understand the news you are watching, the movie you are viewing, and so on? Okay, that is the essential question you have to ponder. Now, just like what I said, one important literary knowledge that you must learn or master is what they call genre. Genre. What is genre? Is she a famous singer in the Philippines? Genre Geronimo? Oh, just kidding. Genre, when we say genre, others pronounce it as genre. That's wrong, okay? Genre simply is the category or type. The word genre actually means type. So it's a category, a kind, or type where a movie, a news show, or any other shows belong to. So we can categorize all the materials we are viewing according to genre. Sounds intelligent, isn't it? Genre has basic types. So there are two basic types of genre. What are these basic types? Okay, these are either A, fiction, or B, non-fiction. So what are the differences between a fiction and a non-fiction? So when we say fiction, it's just a product of your imagination. Okay? It does not really happen or it does not occur in the real life, such as Transformers, Barbie, and other magical movies or magical shows that you have viewed. These are what we call fiction. On the other hand, of course, it has its opposite, non-fiction, meaning to say these are the shows, the movies, and the other viewing materials you have viewed which were created based on real incidents, real happenings, or facts. So they have real information. Examples of this, DepEd TV. So the lessons you are watching in the television, the DepEd TV, you have the news that you are watching in the television, TV Patrol, CNN, 24 Horas, and other news shows. These are falling under what we call non-fiction. Is it clear? Fiction versus non-fiction. Let us continue. Another literary knowledge aside from genre that you have to understand includes purpose, intended audience, and features of materials. So let's talk about each of them. So we are through with genre. Now let's talk about purpose. So what is purpose? What is your purpose? Keyword is what is your reason? So when we say purpose, it's the reason. It refers to the reason why a certain movie or show is done. Why is a news show done? What's the purpose? Okay? Mainly, its purpose is to inform the people of the latest happenings in a certain place. Like for example, TV Patrol, it informs us what is happening, what has happened, and what happens during that day, particularly in the Philippines or outside the Philippines. That's its purpose. It says here, YouTube, or by the way, YouTube and YouTube, either is correct, okay? YouTube is its British pronunciation, YouTube, it's American pronunciation. So YouTube videos about numbers and letters are made to inform, right? The lessons that you are watching in YouTube, just like this one, just like my lesson, is referring to the purpose. The purpose is to inform, the same purpose, inform. Well, of course, there are other purposes. We have entertain and to persuade. Example of entertain, maybe Pepito Manaloto, if you're familiar with it, Bubble Gang, Going Bulilit. The main purpose is to entertain. For persuade, advertisements, commercials, their main purpose is to persuade you, to make you believe that their products are the best products. So that's their purpose. That's what we call purpose. What about intended audience? Of course, the word audience, you would know already the meaning. Oh, my cursor is missing. Okay, audience. So viewers, audience. Who are the intended viewers? Who are the intended people that are going to watch these particular shows? So when considering the literary knowledge, one should ask the question, who should watch my movie or my show? For the Going Bulilit, who should watch my show? For its showtime, who should watch my show? So that's the intended audience. You are asking yourself. So this refers to the people, to the audience, whom the movie or show is created for. So just like my example, for Going Bulilit, basically it's intended for viewers who would like to be entertained, who would like to enjoy, have fun, hear jokes, smile, laugh. So they are the intended audience. In terms of age, I think there is no restriction in terms of age. An old man, a young man, a teenager can watch for as long as they would like to be entertained. So they are the intended audience. You get it? Continue. Take note that video materials such as movies are made for a specific audience depending on the content, language, and scenes. Of course, okay? Why do we consider the intended audience? Let's say for an example, if you're, isn't it whenever you are watching television, there is this advice saying, ang susunod na palabas ay rated SPG, striktong patnubay ng magulang ang kailangan. So, the intended audience are those at the right age, perhaps 20 years old above. Why? Because there are some scenes, there are some foul languages for according to the ages, and of course the content. Okay? Let's say ang probinsyano, so patnubay ng magulang ang kailangan. Why is it the intended audience are to be guided by their parents? Why? Because ang probinsyano has some content that are not really suitable for young audiences. Like there are some fight scenes, killing scenes. So in order for the kids not to mimic or not to make gaya of these scenes, they must be guided by the parents. That's why the intended audience must be adults already. You get it? There are some kissing scenes for adults. The language, sometimes there are some shows wherein they make use of mura, bad words. So the intended audience should be adults already. So these are to be considered when we look into the audience. And lastly, of course, we have the features of another example of literary knowledge. So genre, intended audience, purpose, and last is features. So we have the fourth one. So under features, these are the characteristics of the movies or the shows. Examples. What are these characteristics? One feature is the character. Okay. Who are the characters? These are the actors, the doers, the people that are being talked about in a particular show that you are watching. Example, we have the character, the ever famous Cardo Dalisay. So he is the main character of Ang Provinciano. Okay? When analyzing this element, try to understand the roles. Of course, there are two roles. Are you the antagonist or are you the protagonist? So when we say protagonist, are you the main character? Are you the bida? Or are you the villain, the kontrabida, the antagonist? But sometimes there is the third one, the combination of protagonist and antagonist. Nowadays, there are characters who are considered both bida and both kontrabida. So are they the protagonist or the antagonist? Another aside from character is plot. We have the plot. It's the storyline of the movie or the show. Okay, it includes the start of the story, the middle part or the body of the story, and its ending. Okay? When analyzing this element, try to understand the conflicts. Remember, conflict is important in a show. Okay? Conflict, this is the problem. This is the problem in the show. So if the show does not have conflict, it will be boring. So you have to understand the conflicts shown and how these conflicts are resolved. However, not all shows have plots, but all shows have scenes. Okay, try to analyze the scenes then if they are contrasting or not. Okay? The third one is the dialogue. Okay? The dialogue, the exchanging of lines of the characters. These are the words told by the characters in the movies, television shows, or in the newscast. When analyzing this element, try to understand the manner of the delivery and how this affects the way you view the behavior or the characters. Just like what I mentioned a while back, isn't it? Under intended audience, language is to be considered. Under dialogues, language is also to be considered. Sometimes, out from the choice of words of the character, we would know how to describe the character. Let's say, for example, in the dialogue, let's say, in one show, there is a dialogue. One character who stays in Tondo, Manila, it's very obvious that he did not study because of his choice of words, isn't it? You would know a person, you would know how to describe a person out of the words that he is using. Pag ang tao, magalang, wow, mabait siya, napalaki siya na maayos, right? Pag ang tao, palamura siya, bastos siyang kausap, hindi siya nagpapapo, well, you would know how to describe him. That is through his dialogues, his lines, okay? And lastly, we have what we call visuals. So visuals, what are to be seen? These are the visual effects and preparations done by the producers of the show to provide visual impact to the viewers. This may include camera movement, holograms, video presentations, and editing. An example of visual, if you are watching Spider-Man, X-Men, Iron Man, Avengers, so if you have watched this, the scenes there are just visuals. They're not really happening in the real world. Spider-Man really does not exist. Nobody can use, no human can use web. That's not yet proven. So through the camera effects, that is what we call visuals. Okay? When analyzing this element, try to understand what special effects were used to provide visual impact to you as viewer. Okay? So we have character, plot, dialogues, and visuals. These are all characteristics under features. Genre, purpose, intended audience, and features. Now, let's have your activities. So I will be answering each first item for your activities, and then the rest, okay, you can answer them using your learning activity sheets. For exercise A, analyze each photo. Identify the genre, the purpose, and intended audience. Okay, so there must be 3 answers for each item. So classify the genre. Is it fiction or non-fiction? What's the purpose? Is it to inform, to persuade, or to entertain? And who are the intended audience? Kids, adults, men, women, all, or whatever. So let's have an example. So we have this picture. Are you familiar with the Little Red Riding Hood? Okay, this is the fox. And then we have Little Red Riding Hood. So what's the genre? Very good. It's fiction. Yeah, because it does not really happen in real life. Okay, what's the purpose? Definitely to entertain. Okay, not to inform, not to persuade, but to entertain. And who are the intended audience? Most likely kids. Okay, so these are the answers. So you may now answer the other items. Okay, for the next one, letter B, cut and paste a picture of a TV show, documentary show, a movie, trailer, internet-based program. So if you have newspapers at home, and then you would see there posters, old newspapers, posters of movies, television shows, documentary shows, you can cut them out, okay? Using your scissors. Or if you don't have newspapers and you have printers at home, you can download photos in the internet and then have them printed and then paste them here on the box provided. Okay? Now, how will you be graded? Appropriateness of genre, 3 points. Content of the purpose, 2 points. And correct audience, 2 points. So after pasting the picture on the box provided, you can continue answering the certain questions. Number 1, what is the genre of the show? Let's say, I'll be posting here 24 Horas. So what's the genre? It's non-fiction. I'll write here non-fiction. So I will write here non-fiction. What's the purpose? Of course, I will write here to inform people. Okay, to inform. Okay. And then using the picture below, so you can see here a picture. So using this picture, Create your own plot. So you write a story. So from the picture, make a story out of it. Write dialogues, exchanging of lines, and appropriate visuals. So your talent in drawing will be tested. If you're not good at drawing, you can ask help from your brother, your sister, your friend, or whoever is good at drawing. Now, if nobody's good at it, you can learn it. You can do it. Use the space provided for your answers. So you will be graded according to organization, 5 points. Interactive dialogues, 3 points. Creative visuals, 2 points. So explain the characters, the story you made, and then, what visuals should be included. For letter C, the third activity, imagine that you are a director. Wow, you're gonna make a movie, just an imagination. List down some of the elements you would want to be part of your movie. So what are the elements? You can make use of the features here, the features of literary genre. So, paste a picture as the poster of your movie. So, as a director, let's say the title of your movie is Ang Module. So, you can draw here a picture of a module. Just an example, okay? So, picture of a module here. Okay. So, module yan. This is actually a module. Sorry for the drawing. What's the title, the genre, and so on. Okay? And after that, once you are done, so you just have 3 activities to answer. So once you are done, you can put a check mark in each box which corresponds to what you have learned or how well you have learned the lesson. I learned the lesson difference between genre, fiction, and non-fiction. Did you learn it? Agree? Strongly agree, moderately agree, or disagree. Okay? I learned how to identify the purpose of a viewed material. Okay? I learned how to determine. Okay? I learned the considerations. Alright! There you have it, our lesson for this week. I hope somehow my video has helped you understand the lesson and has guided you how to answer the exercises and activities embedded in the movie. Thank you very much for listening. Please do not forget to follow me on my Twitter account. There, you can see it on the screen. On my Instagram account, on my Twitter account, Instagram, and my Facebook account, Steve SP. And also, please don't forget to subscribe my channel. That's there, you can view it, Steve Spears Vlog. Thank you very much. See you again next week for our lesson. Have a nice day.